Yes, hello sports fans, hello YouTube, Flip Life 67 here. So the NBA Finals has came to an end yesterday, or basically last night, depending on where you watch the game. As the Toronto Raptors, I guess we're gonna start singing "Oh Canada," has survived and beat the Golden State Warriors, which is crazy because it should have just been 112 to 110. Actually, you know what? I think I got the score wrong. All I know, Toronto did win by 4 points, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I'll be honest, before this series started, even though, most of us didn't know if Kevin Durant or how much Kevin Durant was going to play, I honestly really believe that the Golden State Warriors, with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and maybe, I don't know who else was supposed to help, but, I just honestly thought that they would beat in Toronto. Obviously, once again, I was dead wrong as they went down in 6 games, and especially for yesterday, man, it was kind of surprising because once Clay went down, especially in that third quarter, I mean, they were still up, 4 points at the time, and I was thinking to myself, shocked look, I was like, oh my God, Toronto is just going to run them out of Golden State. No, that didn't happen, though. I got to give Golden State a lot of credit. They held in there, and they gave themselves a chance to win, because that would, like I said, man, that would have been demoralizing for Toronto to be up 3-1, and somehow Golden State forcing a Game 7, that would have been freaking crazy on Father's Day. Would have been Game 7 on Father's Day on Sunday. But besides that, well, I guess like you said, not meant to be, or things happen for a reason kind of deal. And the Toronto Raptors win their first championship. Kawhi Leonard. It's hard to say, man. What are you saying about Kawhi Leonard? Probably dynasty killer right there. I mean, he ended, what was that? The Miami's chance for a three-peat. Now he ended Golden State's run at a three-peat. It's just crazy as Kawhi Leonard goes home with the MVP. And he didn't have a great game yesterday, but he made enough plays, and that's the main thing, made enough plays, and he had help. Like I figured in the beginning, I figured if Toronto really wanted to win this series, they needed Kyle Lowry to play well, and he did. He showed up yesterday. He kept Toronto in the first quarter, because they went up on this big run in the starting of the game yesterday, and it's just crazy to know in Game 6 that, it was one of those things, and in the end, Toronto hosted the trophy. Golden State goes down in 6 games, and it was just crazy to know that they had a chance. I don't know about that play to Steph Curry towards the end of the game where it almost got thrown out of bounds, which is kind of crazy. That ball almost went out of bounds. I forgot who saved it. He saved it, kick it out to Steph. Steph had a good look. Ball didn't drop. They tried to rebound the ball. They didn't have timeouts, because that's crazy the way the game ended. They rebounded the ball, but the problem is, Draymond Green pulled a Chris Webber where they had no timeouts. Got a technical. They shot 3 throws, and the margin point differences was bigger. It's just crazy, and it's just crazy to know, Steph Curry in the end, I don't know what to say, man. He did his best. Klay Thompson 30 points before he went out of the game. Draymond Green, like I said, man, I just don't understand why Draymond can't put up 20 points, man, or at least try to put up 20 points a game. It's just crazy. I mean, I get it. He does everything else. He rebounds. He assists. He plays defense. Boy, you needed to score yesterday, though. You know what I mean? That was the whole thing to me disappointing about Golden State going down in 6 games, is the fact that as well as Draymond Green played, it's just, where was his offense? I mean, I think they needed him to score yesterday. I mean, Iguodala saved them with 20-plus points, but the point is, Draymond, man, I mean, his value and everything, the heart and soul of the team, he needed to score, and somehow in these last 3 games of the NBA Finals, I mean, he did hit maybe a couple threes yesterday. It's just in general, overall, offensively, I thought he would step up. I guess it's kind of hard because, like I said, I guess Toronto on the other side, they're just too big up front, I guess, for Draymond to really do anything. And DeMarcus Cousins, man, it was hard because he really couldn't do anything. I mean, offensively, he tried, couldn't. I mean, he had some big rebounds towards the end, but just couldn't get done. And, man, it's hard to believe, man. It's just, like I said, man, it's a salary cap lead, and Golden State, that bench, man, is just, I don't know, man. Besides Iggy playing, that bench, man, I don't know, man. Cook didn't step up. Livingston scored me, 6 points yesterday? It's crazy to know. I mean, then again, like you said, they said it's his last season in Golden State, and, well, last season of his career, basically, or he's going to retire. So, you expect that maybe he would have played. And then the other guys, McKinney, some of these other guys, just no points, man. I know Looney tried to play as best as he could, but he was hurt too. Like I said, man, just too much injuries, no bench depth, and just, I don't know what to say about Golden State, man. It's just, I thought Draymond would play better. And what's worse too is they almost did pull it out though. They almost did force a game 7. If they forced a game 7, that would have been crazy. But the only problem is going into game 7 back in Toronto though. The thing about it after the game, not knowing maybe maybe hours and hours after the game, Klay Thompson ends up with a Achilles injury, and you're like, yeah, that probably wouldn't all look pretty back in Toronto though. I mean, they would have forced the game 7, gone back to Toronto, and who knows, maybe I would have gotten mopped in game 7. I mean, that's just crazy. And today, since it's the day after, Toronto winning the finals, I was expecting a bunch of Steph Curry choke, which I'm surprised I haven't seen those videos yet. Oh, wait, hold up. Rob Parker's not on yet. I forgot Rob Parker and Max Kellerman is not actually on yet. The two big Steph Curry haters. It's just kind of crazy. It's weird. Like I said, man, if you can get a job just trolling people like that, man, I guess all of us should get a job. Or a lot of people that want to talk sports and stuff, we should all get a job just trashing athletes and get paid for it, right? Or actually, yeah, I was listening to Undisputed this morning. I was just listening to how Skip Bayless, one of those bigger trolls himself, Skip Bayless, talking about, Kawhi Leonard, not a leader and all this stuff. And I was like, some of these guys just drive me nuts. I forgot who did a video, but somebody did a video on a YouTube video on basketball media is just toxic and poison. It's just crazy because listening to some of these guys, I don't know if they just have nothing else better to talk about, but just, I guess, man, if you can trash athletes, they pay for it, I guess. And don't get me wrong, you got to know journalism, you got to know some of the stuff to get paid by these big networks, but it just amazes me how some of these guys are on air, and I'm like, as on-air personalities talking sports, and then you're like, I don't know, man. Or even some of the former NBA players. I guess I got to question that ESPN B team, I guess, right? But besides that, man, it's just crazy. The Toronto Raptors won their first title. And can they convince Kawhi Leonard to stay? If he stays, Toronto should be favored again next season. Or at least to get out of the East if Kawhi Leonard stayed. If he doesn't stay and somehow he goes back home to, I don't know, everybody would like to see Lakers, man. I actually have a bunch of Lakers fans here in Hawaii, so they would like them to go to the Lakers. But, Kawhi probably wants to go to the Clippers. Or if not, if he stays in Toronto, he probably has a chance to win more rings if that's his goal. If he wants to win more titles, staying in Toronto might be his best interest. But then, I don't know, we'll see. And then Kevin Durant, man, if you're a Golden State fan, this is tough because, Golden State, for example, Kevin Durant, if he opts in, is a $31 million. But if he opts out, I don't know. After watching the finals, if you're a Golden State fan, don't get me wrong, as great as Kevin Durant is, the point is he's not going to play next season. And the question is next season, especially with Klay Thompson, because of course you want to resign Klay Thompson. I mean, of course you're not going to let one of the Splash Brothers go. That would be kind of crazy if you're Golden State. But to let Kevin Durant walk, man, I don't know. If it was me, man, personally, I mean, like I said, unless Kevin Durant opts in, maybe to keep Durant for that year that he opts in is fine. But to re-sign him is tough because you look at their depth of that bench, and it's like, man, unless some of those guys plays better, I don't know, man, and even somehow draft better or something. Besides that, man, I would let Kevin Durant walk, me personally. I mean, I know that sounds messed up, that guy that had back-to-back finals MVP, gave you guys 2 championships, letting Kevin Durant walk. It's just that, like I said, man, to build a team, man, it's just, like I said, salary cap and everything, to build a team is just tough, man. I mean, of course, you want to pay players their money. I know people want to get paid, but at the same time, man, to build a team, though, and to compete every year and stuff, it's going to take a lot, man. And like I said, certain injuries, and some players getting injuries or depending on how many games they actually miss and stuff, it doesn't help. But besides that, man, Golden State had a great season, man. They also had a great season. A lot of us are kind of disappointed because you figure if it was healthy, Golden State, a healthy team, on paper anyway, you'd say Golden State wins this in 5 games. I'll be honest, the way Toronto played in the finals, I'm not sure if I'm convinced that Golden State would have won in 5 games, but it would, like I said, for us, NBA fans, man, even though you're not a fan of Toronto or Golden State, you got to realize, man, it would have been nice to see a Game 7. But the way it played out and how banged up it is, and it was just crazy overall. I can't wait for next season, basically, but the offseason comes first, and we'll see what goes on in the offseason and the NBA draft, which is in, 8 days, 7 days from now? Yeah, probably 7 more days, the NBA draft. 7 or 6, yeah, it's about there. 8, 7 days before the NBA draft. That's kind of crazy to see all of that. And the offseason, how the offseason plays out. And if you're a Lakers fan, can LeBron James get some help? It's crazy to know that, right? One of the greatest players, or people consider one of the greatest players in NBA history. How much help does he need to go back to the NBA Finals, man? I mean, next season, if he gets some help next season, he might be back in the finals. Especially if you're a Laker fan, you should be ecstatic that, thanks to the injuries of Golden State, that the Lakers actually might have a chance to go back to the finals maybe. Who knows? We'll see, right? That's this season so far and how it ends, and we're going to start seeing old Canada. I'm not sure how the rest of old Canada goes, but old Canada, Toronto, you won your championship, and hopefully if they keep Kawhi Leonard, we'll see. Like, comment, subscribe. We out here, everybody. Aloha.